So like I said, the parabola is a U-shape. Now we're going to get into what are the attributes of a parabola: the vertex, line of symmetry, and x-intercepts. Okay, so let's go to the vertex first. The vertex is the highest or the lowest point of your graph. Okay, highest or lowest point. Okay, point on the graph. All right. So it's basically where the U or the parabola changes direction, or where the U kind of bottoms out and curves the other way, okay? That's right where the vertex is, and it's going to be 1 point exactly. All right, the line of symmetry, that is a vertical line. So vertical line. And this vertical line passes through the vertex. So passes. And I'm going to abbreviate a little bit just so it's easier for you guys and me. So passes through. That is not how you spell through, by the way. Through the vertex. And actually, someone from my last period said vortex. It is not a vortex. It is a vertex. Okay, vertex. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is the part where you're going to get tired of today because we're going to rewrite it probably 4 or 5 times. The x-intercepts, or what I like to call them, is the rocks. Okay, R-O-X-S. And that's an acronym. Everyone knows what an acronym is? Yeah. What does it mean? What does an acronym mean? Yeah, a letter represents a word, basically. Right, very good, okay? So the R, that's going to represent roots, okay? All of these words are going to be synonymous with x-intercepts. Okay? Roots. And then O stands for, it's actually weird, this actually stands for 0. I know it's not RZ, but picture that O being a 0. Okay, a 0, not an O. Okay, so the 0 stands for 0. The X, I bet you guys can guess what X stands for. X-intercept. Very good. X-intercept. Actually, the 0 should be pluralized. Zeros. X-intercepts. And the last one, the S. Anybody got a guess?
Slow.
That's okay. Solutions. You actually won't go into slopes of parabolas until you get to like calculus. Then you'll figure out it's called instantaneous slope. Kind of, yeah. Not in this class. Okay. So the root zeros, x-intercept solutions, and what it means on all of these is where it crosses the x-axis. Okay. Where the graph crosses the x-axis. That's what rocks means.
Where
Okay.
the line passes through vertex.
Yeah, it passes through not vortex, vertex. Okay.
He said vertex.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to clear that up.
Oh, so we
Okay.
ride them together.
Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy right now, right?
Leave him alone, bro.
Okay. Go ahead. Letter A. This is.
Since Gabby always has something to say about your handwriting, just let her write it.
I could.
Because she just writes so beautiful, right?
Okay. The line of symmetry is usually represented by that dashed line. Gentlemen. No, baby, come on. There'll be time to talk? No, right now. Okay. All right, so the line of symmetry is that dotted line. It passes through the vertex, okay, or the middle of the graph. Remember, what does symmetry mean? There's 2 of the identical sides. So if you have a line of symmetry, that means the left side and the right side can fold over and form the same shape, okay? So the line of symmetry. And what this means is it's going to be represented as x equals basically where it crosses the x-axis, where that dotted line crosses the x-axis. So in this case, it'd be x equals 1 because that dashed line crosses the x-axis at 1, okay? All right, letter B, it's pointing to 2 dots. Okay, those dots represent your rocks. R-O-X-S. And you better believe we're going to write it again. Right, Mrs. Sanchez?
Better.
This stands for roots. Someone help me out. Zeros. X-intercepts. Very good. X-intercept solutions. The reason why I'm having you write all 4 of these is because when you're tested on this, you will be basically, all 4 of these words appear at some point, and you guys know what they mean now, okay? On a graph, a solution is basically the x-intercept, or any of the x's, actually, for that matter, okay? Very good. So there's going to be 2 ways to label your x-intercepts /zeros / solutions, okay? So I'm going to put 2 ways. And then go ahead and put a line separating this, okay? The first way is going to be in a coordinate form, x comma y. And actually, you're going to find out the y will always be 0, okay? So actually, you can put x comma 0 if you want. X comma y, okay? The next one's going to be x equals. And it's basically just going to be whatever the x value is, okay? So this graph, how many times does it cross the x-axis? Twice. So there's going to be 2 different rocks or roots or x-intercepts or zeros, okay? All right. Last one, vertex. Okay. Am I going too fast? Can I slow down a little bit, or are you good? All right. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I don't care if I need to slow down.
Wait, go back.
Wow. Okay, here we go. All right. So the rocks, roots, x comma y or x equals. Those are 2 ways you'll see it. And I'm going to write both of them for today, so you guys can get to have a seeing both. All right, the vertex. How you're going to find this is you're going to label it as x comma y. And also what you're going to label is the maximum or minimum, okay? What the maximum means is the graph's highest point. So it should go hand in hand. Max means as high as you can go, right? Minimum means as low as you can go. So minimum means lowest. Did I spell it right? Yeah. Lowest. Like you could min max, that's fine with me. As long as you're going back through your notes, you know what it means, okay? All right, so those are all of your labels, basically, of a parabola, okay? Those are the three things that we're going to be discussing, basically, today, okay? You guys ready to get started? No. Let's get into example 1, and then you'll be able to try one on your own, okay? The first two examples are going to be already graphed for us. On the back, we're going to have to graph it and then label it, okay? All right, anytime you have a parabola, what do you need, Jahan? Which one? You good? Okay. I'll go back up if you still need it. Okay. Before you even start think about label and stuff, go ahead and draw a point at the vertex, which is where that U shape bottoms out or changes directions. Put a dot at each x-intercept /0/root, okay, where it crosses the x-axis. And also label or draw your line of symmetry. I used to do a dashed line. You do not have to do a dashed line. You can do a solid. But if you do a solid, it kind of gets messed up within your graph, and it kind of looks like it's part of the graph, okay? So dashed line. Yes?
Why did you put a dot at the bottom?
That's called the vertex because we're going to have to label that, okay? Always put it one at either. It's going to be either the bottom or the top of the graph. That's where the vertex is going to be, okay? All right. So the vertex is going to be x comma y. So that red dot I put at the bottom of the graph, what is the coordinate for that? As a review, I'm going to get out my little laser pointer. If you, yeah, no. You want to do x first? We're not doing slope. Okay. Huh? Very good, Noah. Yes. If you start from the 0, 0, as Noah said, he went to the left, negative 1, 2, 3. And the reason it's negative is because it's to the left. Then down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down means negative, so you have a negative 3, comma negative 4. I hope by now we are really good at finding points and graphing points, plotting points. Started at 0, 0, and I found out what this coordinate is. So I went to the left 3 and down 4, so that's negative 3, negative 4. Okay? All right. Now going into minimum or maximum, what do you guys think? This is our first example, but I think you might be able to figure it out. Do you think this is a minimum or a maximum?
Maximum.
Minimum.
Why maximum? What's your theory behind that? What's your explanation? Because there is a 50-50 chance? Or because you had it? If you had a reason, I want to hear it.
Okay, so I don't even know what.
Right, so is there a max?
Yeah.
No.
So it's minimum.
Minimum, because it can't go any lower, right? Very good. What you just said was an explanation what I was looking for, but you're trying to defend the wrong answer, right? Okay, so what that means is it's the lowest point. If your graph cannot go any lower, that means it's a minimum. If it cannot go any higher, like the next example, it's a maximum, okay? All right, equation of the line of symmetry. That's going to be where the vertex is, but it's going to be an x equals. So where does this dashed line cross the x-axis?
3. Negative 3.
Negative 3, very good. So what that's going to look like is x equals that negative 3. Do you see how the vertex x coordinate is the same thing as the x equals on the line of symmetry? Those are always going to be the same, okay? As long as you label a vertex right, you should be able to find your line of symmetry without even looking at a graph, okay? All right, x-intercepts, or what's the acronym? Rocks. Hey, Giselle, what's the R stand for?
Roots.
Very good, roots. Okay. Roots. What does the O or the 0 stand for? Zeros. Very good. Okay. I'm going to abbreviate this into x-ints. Okay. X-ints. Remember that stands for intercepts. And then the S. Very good, AJ. So, or is that AJ or Alec? Okay. Solutions. Perfect. Solutions. Okay. All right. And so now we need to figure out how do we label those roots, zeros, x-intercepts, /solutions. Okay. How do we label those? We're going to do it two different ways, just like I had you label it. X comma y and also x equals. Okay. So the coordinates here, where it crosses the x-axis. So we got a coordinate there and a coordinate here. Both ones here. Okay. What is the coordinate of the one to the left? Start at 0, 0. How do you get there? You go to the x first, right? On the very left. Very left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that negative or positive? Huh? You went to the left 5.
But it's like the point is 5.
Negative 5, comma 0. When you label your rocks, roots, zeros, x-intercept, solutions, you are going to always have a number, comma 0. That number can be 0. We are going to find out that. But it has to be some number, comma 0, always. Yes? How did I figure that out? You start from 0, 0, and then we did that one first. Now we're going to do the next one. So, AJ, I think you were answering the next one.
Oh, yeah, I would.
What was the next one?
Maybe 1, 0.
Yeah, very good. Negative 1, comma 0. Could you just wait for me to get through this problem, then I'll write you a pass. Okay.
And leave my puzzle pouch here.
Yes, back there. We're good?
Gabby?
Okay, so how did AJ get negative 1, comma 0? Well, he labeled the other one, okay? Negative 1, you went to the left, right? So negative 1, you did not go up or down any. It's always going to be some number, comma 0. Huh? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the order. We can do either one, okay? Okay, now I want you to put a big or. Or you can have x equals negative 5 and x equals negative 1, okay? So notice how I just put the x coordinate. Okay, I just put the x coordinate. X equals, x equals. All right. So here is everything. We labeled all, we circled everything on the graph. We labeled it. Now guess what? It's time for you to try one. Ready, set, go. All right, boys and girls, anyone get an answer? First things first, label your vertex by putting a dot there. The vertex is where the U basically changes direction, or the top or bottom of that U, that rounded part, okay? The line of symmetry, or axis of symmetry.
Positive 4, 0.
Axis of symmetry, hold on a sec. Axis of symmetry. And then everywhere it crosses the x-axis. Well, this case, it only crosses in one place, doesn't it? It only crosses in one place, so there's no other dots you need to write. All you need to do is keep that one, okay? So the vertex is going to be a coordinate. What is the coordinate for that dot there?
Why can't you just put dots in there?
Because it doesn't cross the x-axis. You're talking about right here? Doesn't cross the x-axis here.
Down. Down.
Right there?
No, down. Down and to the side.
This one? You're right, it does pass directly through that, but it doesn't pass through the x-axis. This is the x-axis. Okay? Hold on.
Why don't you just erase his name? Or like, oh, okay, I know what you mean.
Sir,
No, you need to make a pink pass and laminate it.
This one they're
That's the whole point.
Sir, bro, look at that. Sir, make a pink pass and laminate it.
He heard you, Gabby. He was talking. He said I could do that.
Okay, here we go. So we are going to label the vertex. So the vertex, what is the coordinate of the dot I just circled? What's the coordinate? Start at 0, 0. Let me pull out my... Start at 0, 0. You go down, or to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that positive or negative 4?
Negative. Positive.
Positive 4. Do you go up or down any?
No.
No, so it would be 4, comma 0. Be the vertex, okay? Is this a max or a min?
Number 2.
Max.
It is a max, right? Think about it, because can you tell me is there a bottom, basically? Is there a bottom or a floor? There's nothing, no bottom, right? It goes down forever, so there's no bottom. So max means that is the highest it can be. Highest. Okay, highest point, okay? All right, now the equation of the line of symmetry, meaning that dashed line, where does it cross the x-axis? It's going to be x equals. What number does it cross the x-axis at? You said it 1. Say it louder. 4. All right, x equals, is that what you said? Okay, x equals 4. Okay, you better believe we are going to label our rocks. That stands for roots, zeros, x-intercepts, and solutions. Roots, zeros, x-intercepts, and solutions, okay? So as Noah said earlier, I don't know if you guys heard him. He said there's actually only going to be one root or 1 0. Why?
Because there's only one point touching the x-axis.
There's only one time where it crosses the x-axis, right? So the solution to the root is going to be, boys and girls, 4, 0, or x equals 4. Okay? Make sure you know how to do both. Notice how I only have 1 this time because of exactly what Noah said. It only crosses 1 time. Okay, on the back, boys and girls. I'm going to go over the first one, and I'm going to help you set up the next 3, but then I want you guys to do it, okay? So the first one. First things first, I want you to extend this table. Give yourself another column, basically. I apologize. Every worksheet from here on out, I am going to give you a column, an extra column. Okay, but for right now, we kind of have to draw it our own. Okay, cross curriculum, it's art practice. X, comma, y. Okay, so the first or second column, we're going to say y equals. It's really important that you put parentheses and substitute a -2 for your x, meaning the x disappears, and you put -2. It's really important you do parentheses, especially if you're using a calculator. If you just type in -2 squared, it will give you -4, but that is wrong because what does the squared mean?
I remember doing this.
What does squared mean? Or the exponent of 2?
Times again.
Itself twice, right? So what is -2 times -2? It'd be +4, right? Very good. So this is equal to +4. And if you do it in a calculator, no harm, no foul. Just make sure you put parentheses. We're going to set up everything like that. Y equals -1 squared. What is that? What's -1 squared?
2.
+1, right? -1 times -1. Y equals 0 squared.
No, I'm not even.
Exactly what Wanda said. What's 0 times 0? 0. Y equals 1 squared. What's 1 times 1? 1. Y equals 2 squared. What's 2 times 2? 4. Do you guys see a pattern?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Unless, okay, everyone look at example number 4, or the number 6 at the bottom. You see how there's a negative in front of the x squared? The only time your answers will be negative when there's nothing added or subtracted on the end is if you have a negative in front of the x squared. So your answers will always be positive in this case. Okay? Cross your name out. Put Michael. Okay? All right. So now we need to give our x comma y. Okay. So when you go to this step here, you are going to put your x coordinate, which is what? On the first one. What's your x coordinate on the first one?
What are we doing?
John, what's your x coordinate on the first one?
-2.
-2. What did you get for your answer?
4.
4, right? Okay. Next one. Your x coordinate is -1. Your answer was 1. Next one, your x coordinate was 0. Your answer was 0. Next one, x was 1. Answer was 1. And the last one, x was 2. Answer was 4. Okay? All right. Beautiful. Okay? So here we go. Now we're going to graph this. Like I said, I'm going to go through this one with you, help you set up the next ones. Then it's yours to do on your own. Once again, practice on how to graph these. X first, then your Y. So -2 on the x-axis, starting from 0, 0, goes -1, 2 to the left, and +1, 2, 3, 4 up. The answer is you plugged in your x, which is on the very left. Okay, the very left, you plugged in all of these to the equation for x. But it's really imperative you put them in parentheses. The -2 in parentheses, then squared. Okay, outside the parentheses. All right. Here we go. Then we got -1. Shh, I'm almost done. -1, +1. And then you got 0, 0. And then you got +1, +1. And then you got +1, 2, +1, 2, 3, 4. And that's about as much as you need to graph a parabola. So go ahead and graph one of those parabolas. Okay? This, boys and girls, is what's called the quadratic parent function. What I want you to do, and I'm going to help you out, what I want you to do is graph this graph on every single one of these examples. Okay? Every single one of these examples, and then also graph the new graph. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay? All right, you ready? Now we're at the last page. We're at the last page. We are labeling. Okay, what is the vertex?
0, 0.
Very good, Noah. 0, 0. Is this a maximum or a minimum?
Minimum.
Minimum, meaning it cannot go any lower. Okay, lowest. What are the x-intercepts?
0, 0.
But before I do that, you're right, Noah. Before I do that, we're going to label our rocks. That means roots,
Sir, but what if we already know what
zeros,
we do still have to write it?
yes,
It's pretty darn annoying.
x-ints, and solutions.
Darn.
That's okay. More practice makes better. And exactly what Noah said, it is 0, 0, or
I think that's funny.
x equals 0. Okay? Oh my goodness, I forgot to label or draw the axis of symmetry. What is the equation for the axis of symmetry? X equals 0.
I was just singing that song in my head.
Bro,
Sing it later.
that's freaking crazy.
Okay. So this is exactly how you want to do every single problem, but the only difference from the next three are you're going to label your parent function first. Okay, so this is what I mean by that.
That's goals.
We are going to take this parabola, we're going to label it on all the other ones. So there's a dot at 0, 0. There's a dot at -1, 1. And -2, 4. And then there's a dot at 1, 1. And 2, 4. Because I want you guys to see what the difference is between the new graph and your parent function, okay? So once again, if you have two colors, like I see that Destiny has a black pen, that's perfect. So use this in a different color on all of your problems, then do the new one on top of it, okay? You'll see that they're different a little bit, okay?
Parabola.
Once again, this is not the parabola for this equation. That's your parent function, okay? I'm going to help you set this up, and then I want you to do the next ones on your own. So draw yourself another column, x comma y. The first one is going to be y equals 3 times. Shh, almost done.
Funny.
What is -2 squared? -2 times -2.
Yeah, 4.
And then what's 4 times 3?
12.
12. Positive 12. Remember, anytime you have a negative number squared, it's positive. Anytime you have a positive number squared, it's positive. Okay? It's never going to be negative except for your last example. Okay? All right, so the rest of them is yours. And let me label this coordinate for you. It's going to be -2, comma your answer, which is 12.
Is this for homework?
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay? Once again, if you want to go ahead and do it now, label your parent functions in every single graph. Every single graph. I'll be around to help you. Ready, set, go.